Hi guys, I'm Mr. Earthy, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a couple of things that are on my mind at the moment. And I just wanted to get it started off with congratulating everyone that's been going to the protests and standing up rather than sitting at home watching TV and just getting secondary information. But I would say that at the moment we are in need of change, and we are in need of something happening quickly that would change how we protest and how we go about with getting our rights and getting justice and what is deserved. I would say that a lot of people are fighting because the police officers are not getting trialed and judged just like any human would be. And I think that that's very unfair. And it just shows that people have power over the system, and that this whole system structure is just one big joke, just like the how it's linked with social media, and how social media can have such a monotone impact on people, in the sense that they can become very one-sided without doing the rest of the research. And obviously that has a bad negative impact on someone, because let's say you research about someone, and then you get taught that that person was a bad person, but in reality maybe they are hiding something that that person in reality did. And that's a lot of what we're getting in recent years, that a lot of hidden information is coming to light, and it's changing completely the development of our minds and how we procrastinate and how we see the world in today's day and age, and how we see the structure of the system, and how it evolves around people being poor, and the rich people having so much money that they can pretty much do whatever their sick mind desires. And in a sense, that's disgusting. And also, it shouldn't work like that, that you have enough money to basically buy your own freedom and buy the rights or whatever you need to hide or leave in disguise. For example, how Donald Trump nowadays, there's a lot of controversy about his sex trafficking with Epstein and things that happened in the past. I'm not gonna go too much into detail into that, because everyone should do their own research and make up their own mind about it. However, it just goes to show how a man in power had other people in power around him, and they were doing sick things together, like sleeping or being around 12-year-olds and other nasty things. However, it just shows how that man, even though a sick mind and a very, very nasty past, has somehow managed to climb his way up all the way to the top of the food chain, which is being a president, and pretty much generating a disgrace to the US. Right now, no one's respecting them, and everyone's just looking at them like a big circus, because they're still invading countries, they're still doing all these bad things, and on top of that, they can't keep in control the people in their own country, right? And they use inappropriate violence towards the public in general. One big example of this, and not even going into too much detail, is the fact that right now they're just throwing tear gases and things like that, like it's the 4th of July, they're throwing it at people, not giving a fuck about what's going to happen to them, or what the consequences are, or who these people are, who these people have to go back home to. So in that sense, I do feel like it's a bit sickening seeing what's happening on the US. But in general, as a bigger picture, I feel like we need to develop a new method or a new way of getting our point across. As we can see, the protests are not working, and you can even look back in time and see people like that are like 80 or 90 years old nowadays that used to protest back in the day as younger kids. You can ask them and they'll tell you that protests don't work and gathering up don't work. And the only way we've been somehow managing to get our point across is using violence. So what does that show? It's showing us that we need to use violence for violence, but that's not gonna progress us as a country, or that's not gonna progress us as a whole world, you know what I mean? I'm not from the UK, however, I do think that every country deserves a peace, you know what I mean? Every country deserves for people to be living in a society where they feel comfortable and they're working, and taxes and rent doesn't take up majority of the money they earn. And I feel like that's the push we should give this whole protest and this whole fighting for our rights, alongside the racism and alongside the police brutality alongside the pedophilic shit that's happening within the inner circle of the elites of the world, and all these other things, just like Corona. There's thousands of people lining up, and now Corona has practically disappeared off the picture of how they're scared. Maybe now they're gonna try, sending a second strike of people dying or whatnot. But my point is, we need to start changing the ways that we behave and the ways that we want to progress as people. We need to find new methods and new ways of showing what we believe and what we stand for, and get new leaders and new people to be at the top and to guide our people into a better way of living and into a better way of treating one another. I hope everyone's having a blessed day and stay safe.